Welcome to One Word a Day. I'm Sophie, your pilot into the universe of Chinese, and Merry Christmas. This is One Word a Day, so every day throughout the year, of course, this is pre-recording, but I'm pre-feeling the joy of a holiday, and thank you for tuning in, even if it's a holiday, it's supposed to be the break of the year. Okay, today is a good meaning kind of match up to what you're probably will be experiencing today on Christmas Day, which is 松弛感. Okay, 松弛感. It's a new thing. As you can see, I'm a Chinese native speaker. When I was in China about 20 years ago, this expression was not there. So it was not a part of my natural vocabulary. So when I was saying it, 松弛感. Okay, we have a 松弛, but this combination of a 松弛感 was a new thing, like in recent 2, 3 years. You may have heard the trend of Chinese workaholic culture as if a badge of honor of 996. So that's 9 a.m. to 9 p.m., 6 days a week type of work schedule, which is inhumane. And as that as, let's say, mainstream, or at least big corporations in China were promoting that, a counterculture, an undercurrent always exists. And this 松弛感, I would view it as part of this counter of that, kind of loosen up to tell people that between human to human, interpersonal reading of your aura or vibe in today's Gen Z lingo, that if we can detect 松弛感 on somebody, that's a good quality. And so this is almost like a culturally counter that 996 deadly schedule of kind of deprive your private personal time. Okay, so 松弛感, how that what is expressed. 松, I translate it as a fluffy loose feel. I mean, the combination is quite cute, even just translate one by one word, which almost always not right, except for some well-aligned character, Chinese character to English word mapping. Very rarely, one word by word, it can make sense. So fluffy, loose feel. Does it convey a sense of, your hand loose, kind of hand loose symbol? Fluffy. Okay. This was made of a wood symbol on the left. So canopy of the tree, root of the tree, connected by trunk of the tree. That's super simplification of the main structure of a tree. And I want to highlight that Chinese have this laser viewpoint of we not only conceptualize a tree of above the ground, a visible part of the tree, but we depict the whole tree, including the root, which, I mean, culturally, if we are looking at the root as a part of the tree instead of, just visually the visible part, that gives me a sense of this culture, this language, at least the language creator back then were very thoughtful. They don't see the partial tree, they see the full tree. All right. The right side is 公. In today's language, explainers, it will be, okay, left side is sound maker, and no, left side is the meaning maker, which is type of a tree, and the right side is a sound maker, which sound like a 公 transferred to 松. Okay, but that's really shallow. It's really scratched the surface of it. I would like to find out, even the supposedly sound maker, they may actually carry meaning. Otherwise, why? This is song actually means pine tree originally. So why does pine tree? We use this gong to pair with it to create a pine tree. Out of all the other possible components, radicals, why this combination, right? There got to be a logic in there. So that's my job here. This gong means public. It comes with two parts. I mean, even if it visually shows three parts, but the top, this means back to back. Okay, visually it's separated and kind of a mirror image symmetrically. Um, and that means opposite, back to back. The bottom, this kind of upside down question mark ish thing means private. And my interpretation is this is kind of a drawing a circle, almost a full circle, but it's kind of an open circle. And that, sorry, somebody text me. That means this sense of possession and ownership. Within the circle, this is mine. But okay, why there's a gap in there? And my interpretation is, okay, this is a purely imagination. Try to put my sense of the world so far into this explaining why this little bit of opening over there, that private and public property or assets or stuff simply, those are possibly mutually transactional or transferable or convertible. Like your private stuff can go somewhere else, become somebody else's, right? Through transaction. Or, I mean, in the unfortunate case would be somebody steal from your stuff. So your stuff, you're only kind of temporarily semi hold to it. It's not a full circle. You don't claim the absolute permanent ownership of things. But for the most part, it's an enclosure, but not the full closure. Okay, so private, opposing, that means opposite to private. It's public. Okay, public on the right side, 公, and the tree on the left side. Public tree. It means pine tree. And my explainer is out of all the combinations, this public tree simply means pine trees are public trees, very often seen, used in ancient landscaping, I guess, part of the scene, because pine trees were not like, I guess the public tree was, the pine tree were, for the most part, were not crop or like not fruit trees, right? Like it cannot create economic value for you other than providing shade, provide that good pine tree smell. So it's kind of in a public landscape. And you don't, I guess you almost don't want to grow pine tree as on your private property, but negate that. Japanese gardening use lots of pine tree. Actually, where I live has a huge Japanese population, and I can notice, like in their backyard or front yard, pine tree decoration a lot of times because pine trees symbolize longevity. So that's the goal for many people in mind. Okay, so that's explainable. Then fluffy, because if you ever walk on top of a pine tree needle fallen covered surface, it's very fluffy. It's not exactly crunchy because crunchy are larger leaves that you can break while walking on top of it. Pine tree pine needles, they are not for the most part breakable, but it forms a loose, fluffy layer that when you walk, it's like nature's carpet, fluffy carpet. Okay, so we have the horse symbol on the left side. Okay, it's Chinese abstraction of horse with its mane, the forelegs, and the tail. The right side is ye. Ye. In today's lingo, we often use ye. That looks like this. Has nothing like this transformation in visual cue. Huge. It's hardly relatable. Okay, this ye in contemporary Chinese means also. And in Middle history, like 2,000 years ago, our classic literature often used as the end of a closure of a sentence. By the way, Chinese doesn't have punctuations, punctuation marks. So as a word, we use that serve as period. However, okay, when we come to the origin of how this image was created, what exactly does it mean? Like things like at the end of the sentence or in today's lingo often used as also, as well as this concept. Like this is kind of an abstract linking words. What kind of meaning it came originally from? Okay, according to, well, there are different theories. Okay, it's all guesswork, and I buy into one theory because there are several other characters that including this. That definitely doesn't mean just also. And also, I had a debate with ChatGPT, not the exact ChatGPT, Gemini, I guess. I Google it. I try to dig deep. I try to kind of validate if my theory was out there, but no, nobody said so. So this is my conviction, buy it or not. Here's my theory. Okay, this one scholar, Xu Chen, which is all these imageries that I cropped out of this, the earliest consolidation of Chinese standardized by Xu Chen, is an ancient dictionary compiler. Okay, he theorized that this means the shape of a female reproductive organ from the outside view, from a man's view almost. Okay, but there's nothing, I mean, I guess, sexual about it. It's mostly about the female body is the place where the next generation, new humans, come from. So it's kind of from 0 to 1. I mean, later days we can explain reproductive or sex education, like we know the story how things happen. But in ancient times, you can even trace back to even earlier, like a tribal, prehistoric era. The tribes would view that female organ, this is the tunnel where new life sprung out of. And this is like a miracle before it's explainable. I mean, even explainable, it's still a miracle. So this, yeah, this female body parts means potential, means this magic space where you can grow something new, such as life, right? And so this image is associated with wide space. We have the expression of 空空如也, and lots, like a majority of contemporary Chinese users, just regard that 也 as end of sentence because we're talking about empty, empty as such, and 也 is like blah, like nobody explain it. It means end of story. I don't buy that. I think 也 in that expression 也 means exactly that. Means it's empty. No baby yet, but it has the potential to be filled, to grow something new out of there. So I regard that as wide space, potential, emptiness. So emptiness with potential is a fertile land if you fertilize it. It's not like, I guess, okay, life non-existing, so far we haven't found extraterrestrial okay, outer space alien life yet. So this potential, this fertilization is critical. It's a miracle on this planet Earth. And that's the status of this icon represent. And this wide potential space paired with horse means loose. And my interpretation is the horse run wild in this unlimited potential space. And that's how horses should run, right? Like loose, let loose. They are not in a fence. It's boundless. They have the whole world as if all the ground for the horse to run. And that's the sense of loose, unconstrained. Okay, feel, we have 咸, which in today's language means salty. And then we have the heart symbol, this chamber with 3 tubes. That's Chinese abstraction, imagination. I'm not sure if it's actually imagination. I'm pretty sure ancient anatomy would, the basic anatomies would expose people to how hard this pump essentially look like, right? So the xian, the salty heart means feel. Okay, I don't exactly buy that because our heart can feel all kinds of flavors, not just salty. So come back to salty. Where the salty meaning come from? It means, okay, you see the mouse symbol here. This box with a up tilted corner, that's the handle of a pot. So human mouse came from this cookware image. And besides, take out that, the rest of it is a picture of an ancient execution tool. You can see this is a type of bloody image of kill somebody, decapitate. Did I say that right? Cut somebody's head off in one swing. And this not only came up like two meanings, basic meanings sprung out of it. One means salty. My interpretation is probably blood tastes salty, and therefore it's this bloody act of cutting somebody's head off, decapitate, right? Okay, means it relates to the taste of salt. The other meaning is it's once for all, complete, because it's irreversible. And once you cut somebody's head off, it's forever off. And it's complete act. There's no semi-cutting, okay, once you swing the axe. And so this means complete, all inclusive, or end of story, or kind of English period. I mean, period, in comparison to this beheading, swing, once for all, complete death image. It's kind of wobbly, right? Because period give you this periodic cycle thing. It's as if, okay, it's not the full end, but this, death, the very end. Okay, so my conceptualization of this means all heart. It doesn't mean salty heart. It means all the taste, all complete feel. It's your sensory activated to feel everything there is to feel. And that's how Chinese feel. Feel it all, good or bad. Fluffy, loose feel. It's simply, in simplest English term would be chill, just to hang loose, to chill. There you go. Thank you for your time. See you another day. Happy holiday and Merry Christmas. See you tomorrow.